What is up, guys? Down here at the shop, and this is actually my first full week of working. Got my daughter in daycare and we're just going full steam ahead. So I've been working on the truck and it is 98% of the way there. I have the Holley harnessed on and a lot of it is wired. It is ready. I have to just do a couple small things still, but I'm really hoping today we do a first start. Upper rad hose is kind of a special order thing. I have a piece of metal that I'm going to make a nice stepped. Sorry about that. Of course, the battery said it was at 100% and it wasn't at 100%. But down here full time this week and really making some progress on this thing. I got the Holley harnessed, majority of it laid, everything is plugged in. Had to move a couple things around and repin the map sensor for one, so and extend a couple things. So, but we are really close. I have fuel system done and built a nice 4-inch intake for it. The last big thing is I have to do the heat exchanger tank, which is going to go over there. And yeah, but today I really want to start it, so I'm currently waiting on starter bolts. I didn't have a starter with the engine when I got it, so I didn't have bolts. So currently waiting on those, and I have to figure out plug wires. But
the ones you had didn't work?
Now, well, Wes doesn't want to sell them to me.
What, those ones?
Yeah, I need kind of that style, but he doesn't want to sell them to me. It's fine.
I don't have to.
Oh, all right, maybe. But I do have to change the plugs to a little bit colder plug, a TR6, and definitely could do a first start with no coolant. It's got oil in it with no coolant, just to hear it. And I also have to figure out, the other big thing is figure out a Y pipe. We're going to use his exhaust that's currently on it. It's not the best, it's kind of small, but he's actually going to a Camaro. Someone makes a kit, a complete drop-in kit that bolts 2010 and up Camaro IRS into these trucks, and he bought it, and he wants to swap it. Yeah, and he wants to swap it. So we're not going to really worry about too much the exhaust, and probably leave the drive shaft that's in it. So the truck is just running and driving, because the drive shaft's going to have to be remade when we go to the IRS. But we're making progress, and things are going quickly. So basically the factory ECU sits in here, in this area, and the Holley is actually in there. You can't even see it. It's in there, and I just have to tidy up some of the wiring. I have to find, the biggest thing is currently with the wiring, I have to find a key on source. So I gotta go over to the ignition, find a key on source, and yeah. Wiring wise, it's all done. I was able to tap into the factory fuel pump relay and use that. It already has the upgraded pump, and yeah, we are really close. So try to get some work done, and once we're ready, I will definitely have the camera on. Good morning, everyone. It's the next day, and I'll tell you right now, we did do a first start on the truck. I don't know, I don't have another filmer, and the guys were busy doing their stuff, and I was just cranking out work, getting things ready, getting the Holley wired, just doing a bunch of things, and I fired it. I did get it on my phone. I will try to put that in the video. But fired it up. It sounds a little off right now, I think. So we are reusing the LSA injectors, and I'm gonna actually. All right, let me back up. So it didn't sound the best, like the cam was hitting everything, and it made great oil pressure, but I could definitely tell it was misfiring. First off, it's on the just a bass tune. like a Holly bass tune, like nothing. I didn't really, I put in, you know, what it is, map sensor, all that stuff, but there's no O2 sensor correction or O2 sensor at all because it's open header. You don't want to run an O2 sensor with open headers because it's so short. It'll actually be a scavenging effect and you'll get a bunch of bad readings. And it'll screw up. It'll try to correct when it doesn't need to correct and everything. So right now I just have the O2 sensor not even in it until we finish the exhaust. But going back, if you rev it, you can hear, so LS engines, especially cammed LS engines, are super hard to figure out a misfire. You more oftentimes than not is use a heat gun, just a heat gun, or a temperature gun, I should say, and check the cylinders. And you know, if they're all 500, 500, 500, 200, you're like, oh, there's your misfire, whether it be injector, spark, whatever. I think it's currently the injectors, just because we're using the original LSA injectors, at least currently, and that blower has been off at least, I want to say 6 to 8 months, and it could be a little gummed up with some you know, just gummed up from sitting. But we're gonna fire it up again today. I'm actually on my way to a parts store. I need to get a belt. I was talking to Jesse Olson. He gave me a guideline of what to find, basically what belt to start with. And I tried 105 and a half inch belt yesterday, and that was not long enough. It was just too short. So I'm on my way. I found parts store guys look at you crazy. You're like, yeah, I need a 105 inch belt, and they're like, what's the year, make, model? Is it 4-wheel drive? No. So I figured out, I remembered how the part system worked, or how the sizing / part number worked. And so I'm like heading to the parts store now, and I need a 1065, so 1006.5 K6. So it's 106 and a half inch belt. That's 6 rib. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna try that. Parts store says they have it. $27, but it's also a standard belt. So one thing that I was talking with Jesse, this doesn't use a dedicated supercharger belt. It's all the same pulley, and it's all 6 rib. I was talking to him, and he has told me he's pushed the 6 rib stuff pretty hard. So what we're gonna do initially, this belt will probably be fine at only, I think we're stock upper pulley, stock lower pulley with a cammed engine. It's probably only gonna make 6-7 pounds of boost, I'm gonna guess, probably. But once we pulley the blower down, like we're probably gonna port the snout, port everything, pulley it down. Jesse says the 6 rib stuff's good, but the problem is keeping a black belt. The black belt, like a standard automotive belt, is not that good at holding its length. If you use it aggressively, you know, like on a supercharged application, you will stretch it pretty quickly. So I'm gonna find a belt that works, and then I'm gonna probably get a green belt. I think Gates is it. It's an HD belt, and yeah, it's made by Gates, and they're super strong. They're expensive, but they're super strong, and they're very, very resistant to stretching. So we'll do that. But one of the downside is if we pulley the setup down, we're gonna need a bigger pump and bigger injectors. When I originally spec'd this fuel pump for the customer, it was supposed to be NA. It was supposed to be a cammed 6 liter NA. So this pump probably won't get us very far. I believe it's only a 340 liter per hour. So it's not even a 450. It's nothing crazy. So we're limited by that and the factory 52 pound injectors. They might do a little bit, but definitely we're probably going to be limited by the fuel pump. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So right now, head to the parts store. My truck, which actually I'm in, needs a fuel filter, and we're gonna get a new belt, and then we're gonna head to the shop, put the belt on, hopefully it fits, and I'll give you guys a startup. So, see you at the shop. And we're here down at the shop. So, been just grinding, doing some work, tidying up a lot of little things, and we're like 90% there, we'll call it. So, one of the last things I have to do is run the intercooler lines, and I have to mount the tank. I'm going to mount the tank right here, but all of the wiring is done. The fans are wired, and intake, I actually had to rebuild the intake because I didn't like how it was. And one of the last things I have to do is build a fan shroud. It's kind of just sitting in there now, but I want to build a nice, actually have it right there, piece of flat steel, and we're gonna go basically stepped. We're gonna come down, and it's really cool that this is it's already nut-certed basically, and then that'll hold it in. It's basically, it's not going anywhere, but that'll just secure it. And the fan, as you said, like I said, the fan is wired. That works. These are monster fans. I had it running earlier and bled the cooling system, and she is dialed. So we'll go inside and I'll show you everything else that I've done. So it is a little loud. It's currently open header. I have to make, actually let's push the truck back a little bit. So I can open the door. There we go. I had to free up the brakes. They were kind of sticky. We did that, but I have to this is his amp wiring. That is actually the brake switch wiring, and I do have to switch that. So currently, I'm guessing with the pedal swap, it changes the brake switch. So this is the original one. It's a single connector, but this doesn't fit on that brake pedal. It uses this style. So, and I can't find wiring yet for this style. So I have to wire that in. But let's give her a fire. All of the factory gauges work. I took some time and just got them dialed. So, make sure it's okay. She's in neutral. Like I said, it's loud because it's open header currently. it moved. It moved out of its own spot. And then I actually took it for a little drive. And yeah, took it down the road and made it back to its parking spot. Big win. So the biggest things I have to finish is the intercooler setup, so we can get proper cooling to the blower and keep those IATs in check, and put the front grill back on, and then put the exhaust on it, because right now it's in open loop. There's no O2 correction or anything, so it drives a little funky, but that's perfectly fine. And we have to address I greased, it looks like the rust all came off of them. I greased, I took the front brakes off, and I greased the sliders and everything, but as soon as I came back through, it was locking up. The reason I did it is I didn't want to basically ride the clutch and destroy the brand new twin disc. So that's another thing we'll have to address. But huge, huge, huge win. It has made it into its parking spot under its own power for the first time since it's been here. And yeah, and like I said, we just got here just before the rain's done. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. I think that's gonna be a really good one. The next one is gonna be the final video with tuning this thing. I'm not gonna go super crazy with tuning. I want to get it, you know, so he can cruise around, roll into it a little bit, but it's not gonna be finished, because there isn't even another surprise for this truck that is coming after it leaves, and then it'll probably be back. Yeah, so we got to do the intercooler stuff and hook up the exhaust that is on it. It is definitely too small, but it will work for now and make the truck drivable, and he can cruise it around. So hope you guys enjoyed, and then stay tuned for the next one, because it is going to be a really good one. Final farewell of this truck. Hopefully, and the customer likes it. I think I'll like it. I've been sending him videos, and he's over the moon, happy with how it's coming. So until next time, see you guys later.